Well, they asked me here in Liverpool to programme this Fresh Festival, which is the opening event of their capital of culture. And it was about contemporary music in its broadest sense, working with improvisation, of course, whatever type of improvisation, you know, whether it's jazz, electronic, or Indian classical music, or whatever, vocal improvisation. You're jumping into a kind of void and hoping that something's going to float.
Bays have been going about 7 years. Without support of any label, any product we sell, just simply on the back of our performances.
Don't rehearse, don't release records, just get up and just capture a moment.
And we thought about 3 years ago, just to make things even more difficult for ourselves, we'd see if we could take our improvising project and combine it with an orchestra. You know, nobody likes to see anything more than a high wire act without a safety net. And so it may sound like a very risky thing, but I think from the audience and from all of us participating, that's where the pleasure and the excitement lies.
I'm not really interested in doing kind of musical events personally that don't have that element of risk.
The Bays Live Electronic Scoring Technique, or BLEST, is a system we devised for this project.
John and Simon are using this software called Sibelius, in which they can notate stuff onto manuscript, and the images get passed through via an LCD screen, so the players can see the music coming into them as they're composing.
And as they are watching, and sometimes even playing, the notes are appearing before them and changing. So they have to be on their toes in terms of being readers and being able to interpret the music quickly.
From a musical point of view, I had no idea what to expect, what the players were going to sound like, how the Bays were going to react to what Simon and I are doing. There was no way of telling, and there were moments when I panicked and I thought, there's going to be some people out there in the audience, there's going to be players sitting waiting for me to come up with some notes, and it just won't happen, I'll have a block.
You can't vibe it. You've got to be right for them, because although we can cut down on detail and sort of the finer elements that we can then sort of hopefully express or get them to express themselves, you still got to get the notes in the right place in the right order.
I'm Jules Buckley, and I'm effectively acting more as a kind of theoretical conductor rather than a kind of formal conductor. If I want something up the octave, again, don't play up the octave until you get the cue. But that will be the signal to jump up the octave. It's my job to effectively decide, okay, on the left-hand side, I'm going to take this idea and give it to these guys. They're going to start playing.
And Jules is he's almost acting more like as a remixer, because he's got this huge palette of sounds and he's been quite selective. And it's kind of forced, well, especially me, to approach it really differently than what we would do in a Bays gig, in the fact that I'm kind of watching a lot of his cues and just cutting where normally I wouldn't be sort of breaking, and just allowing stuff to come through. So it's very much a two-way thing.
I can't think of any project that similar to this in its concept. It's pretty groundbreaking, really, isn't it?
The most exciting music happens where people aren't doing it, so that's a good reason for doing it.
Today we've done 3 half an hour, 40-minute sections. Tomorrow we do it for an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes, and none of us have done that yet.
No.
I'm feeling, privileged to be asked to be involved, and really excited and looking forward to making some history.
And off we go. Thank you. I hope you enjoy.
It was absolutely amazing. We were all buzzing basically after that, and I haven't felt like that for a long time actually. Just totally energised.
Banging, absolutely wicked.
It was amazing, really exciting, buzzing.
It was incredible, absolutely incredible. I can't believe, an hour and 45 or something went past in the blink of an eye, and to get a standing ovation, to see people just utterly loving every second of it. The band loved every second. It was just extraordinary. Can't wait to do another one.
I was really quite nervous and thinking from the sound check that it was, it could go either way. But in reality, it just proper came off, and Jules was unbelievable.
Great, man. Yeah, it was great. It was quick. It went quick, didn't it? It felt quite quick. So it was the only downside of it was that we had to stop. I felt we were just getting warmed up.
Couldn't have gotten any better in terms of the pacing and the way all the writers were just there was some amazing amount of ideas, but the way Jules paced it was really very integral to the whole thing, and just great confidence. Considering it was the first outing, it was just really well done.
I felt that everyone left a lot of space, and for me actually, there was a couple of things where I just kind of leapt in, and I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity to do that.
It's not without its moments of anxiety and tension, but from when we first thought about doing it to how it turned out, it couldn't have been closer to the conception we had, and I just hope that that isn't it, and that we just expand from here on.
I was really fearing it could be terrible or not work, but actually it worked really well. I was very glad to be here. It's a historic occasion.